fight could really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big.
This fight doesn't happen if you're never born, right? You made this fight happen. Why this fight?
Not me, it is who behind me.
I like Crawford, get right to it.
Why?
Because he's like the first time you went from regular TV, which you've been doing a long time, to 3D. He's different. Really, that's the simplest way I can say it.
The meeting between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez unfolded as a grand showcase that matched every expectation. Even Canelo conceded the occasion was far too massive to overlook. Though he initially passed on the proposal, the overwhelming public demand transformed the matchup into a historic spectacle as audiences worldwide tuned in to watch two icons share the spotlight.
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? The beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And two of the best pound for pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking, and obviously everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if you think well, I've been in that position before.
Saudi advisor and chairman Turki Alalshik stated afterward that the night was about much more than boxing. It was about delivering an unforgettable experience. He stressed how invaluable it was for supporters, especially with the thought that this could mark Terence Crawford's last performance on such a grand platform. For Turki, staging the fight in front of an international audience carried profound meaning. It presented two masters at their peak while
My country and my boss, you know? But really, if you look at as a business, this fight will not happen if we are not involved. As Gia, Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, this is truth. Because even with what the relationship with Netflix, and we are very happy about it, still this fight costs more and more.
Speaking of cost more and more, for everyone who watches it, everyone already has a Netflix account, so they're not paying anything extra for it.
Yeah.
You, however, are the guy who just paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a pay-per-view fight that you wanted to see. So people like to get their money's worth. What do you want to see from this fight?
First, not what I want to see, what all the people around the world, and you are fans of boxing, want to see. It's taken too long, but thanks God, without the support behind me from my government, my leaders, the Crown Prince and the vision, and without the love of the fans, we will stop not complete. This is what pushed us. This kind of fight, special Canelo Crawford, I want to explain it to you exactly why it is important and the fight of the century. Canelo is the biggest name in boxing now, and Crawford undefeated and have the chance to be undisputed for the third time. Maybe this is the last fight for Crawford, and for Canelo, it's mean a lot for his fan in North America and South America and all the world. He doesn't want to get beating from guy getting up 2 or 3 weight.
legendary coach and commentator Teddy Atlas, appearing beside ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith, had been praising Crawford long before the opening bell. Atlas offered a vivid analogy. likening him to the leap from standard cinema to digital projection, a way of illustrating his rare sharpness and refined craft. In Atlas's view, Crawford's versatility, accuracy, and steady temperament separated him from nearly everyone else in the field. When the fight began, that assessment rang true. His seamless movement between orthodox and southpaw, his ability to decode opponents instantly, and his rapid adjustments displayed why experts trusted him. Under the brightest spotlight, facing one of the era's most accomplished names, Crawford confirmed his rise into a complete competitor. For fans everywhere, the performance...
Back in the day, I used Betamax, and then that was good. It was cool. VHS, VCR, all that stuff. I still got them, actually. And all of a sudden, digital came around.
There you go.
He's digital, really. And I'm not knocking Canelo for all the people out there that, you know, want to pull their arrows now and start slinging shots at me. Hey, that's okay. That's fine. But I'm not knocking him. He's a good, solid guy. He's
Good,
tremendous.
solid guy. He's 63-2, Teddy, and has never been knocked out. And this guy that's
what's
fighting him
his
is
record?
moving up 63-2.
Wait, what's his record?
63-2.
By whose accounting?
What do you mean by who's accounting? What are you trying to say? That's
what
he
am I
said.
trying to say? There's a couple fights there that you might be able to argue there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Starting with Triple G. Just a little bit. A little bit, you know? I mean, you're insulting him a little bit. You know, like in a movie with De Niro.
I'm not insulting him. I'm pointing out the facts. But here's my point to you, Teddy. He's 63-2.
Lara, how about the Lara fight?
Hold on.
You want to go back further?
Okay. What about Madrimov with Crawford? I'm just saying.
No, he beat Madrimov. He didn't look the way we want him to look.
Okay.
Because stepping up for the first time to that weight class, he didn't look the way that we wanted to say, oh my God.
Well, stay with me. Let me ask you this question.
And Madrimov was not getting the credit for the kind of fighter that he was.
But let me ask you a question, Teddy Atlas. He didn't look the way you wanted him to look, moving up from 147 to 154. Now he's going from 154 to 2 weight classes to 168 against a guy who's 11-0 at the 168-pound limit and is entering his 12th fight undefeated and has never been knocked out.
Yeah, VHS digital. Did you worry about that jump when you went from VHS to digital? No, you just said we're at digital now, and it looks good. It looks really good, and you look great. No, you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You look tremendous.
But I'm just saying, listen, I believe in Crawford too, and I believe that Crawford is one of the top 2 fighters on the planet. But he is moving up 2 weight classes, and when people look at him going up against Canelo, here's what they're saying. He's got to keep his distance. He's got to hit, stick, and move. He can't stay in front of him.
Canelo Alvarez, the champion across 4 weight classes, entered the showdown with his career path already defined. He has openly stated he plans to retire within the next couple of years, having already reached nearly every milestone a fighter could hope for. From undisputed crowns to headlining massive stadium spectacles, his legacy is firmly established. Yet, against Crawford, he displayed not only his lasting skill but also his drive to secure a place among boxing's timeless legends. His outlook was...
Think you'll box?
I don't know, maybe 2 more.
2 more years?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish that you haven't yet accomplished?
I already accomplished everything.
So there's
and I
nothing
did everything in boxing. Yeah. So I'm fine.
When this is all over for you, maybe in 2 years from now, what do you want to be remembered for?
One of the greatest fighters in the boxing history. That's why I'm here. That's why I start boxing. So I'm doing good.
I think you've already accomplished that.
Yeah.
Commentator Simon Jordan underscored the rare steadiness and longevity of Alvarez's career. He reminded viewers that from his teenage debut on the professional circuit to becoming one of the most bankable attractions in the sport, Canelo has consistently met towering expectations. Jordan emphasized how uncommon it is for boxers to remain dominant for more than a decade, yet Alvarez has managed to accomplish that across several weight classes. The fight itself reinforced this narrative. His calmness under fire, tactical awareness, and ability to exploit even the smallest mistakes illustrated why he's regarded as one of this generation's greats. Each adjustment spoke to a reservoir of experience few could rival. As fresh stars continued to emerge, Jordan's reflections highlighted Canelo's enduring edge. It reminded
The interview we went even deeper on it.
He did. Look, Canelo's achievements that speak for themselves. You see, he's been around a long, long time, 20 years as a pro, and he's beat some of the best fighters out there for sure. I think that Paulie there is referring to him avoiding Benavidez, the fight that everyone's wanted to see and wanted to make. He's been picking and choosing his own opponents, and yeah, he has had some easy options. And he gets an opportunity to go in against Terence Crawford, or Terence Crawford gets the opportunity to go against him. Look, whatever way you want to look at it, I think that you cannot deny how good Canelo has been. He has adapted, he's had to adjust. He now, he stalks forward, he hunts his prey, but he single shots to the body, single shots to the head, and that's why I think timing for Terence Crawford here could be
Duke, me and Spencer have got Terence Crawford. How do you think this fight is won and lost?
Yeah, I think this fight is won for Crawford by sticking to his boxing, which he does beautifully. From the outset, I thought Crawford would win this fight, simply because
you're in our game.
He's a great boxer, right? He switches from left to right effortlessly. He's a good stayer. He's got that spite that you need as a champion. What he's done has been done before, albeit, many moons ago with Sugar Ray Leonard, when he moved up and boxed Donnie Lalonde from welterweight to super middleweight, but he stopped off in between that and boxed Marvellous Marvin Hagler. So that's probably a harder route even still, but I feel that it's a stone difference. It's not really that much, not when you look at the bigger picture. A stone in weight is a lot of weight, of course it is. And sometimes you don't even want to give away a pound in weight, but the fact that he's putting on a stone of pure muscle.
UFC boss Dana White, speaking both as an executive and an excited spectator, labeled the showdown the greatest boxing event of the modern age. With 65,000 fans filling the seats, the energy inside the venue was electric. White described it not merely as a fight, but as all-out warfare. The spectacle in the ring matched his description. Every flurry drew deafening cheers, and both men produced a battle.
All I care about as the promoter of this event is that it's a good fight. Over 65,000 people are coming in for this fight live. Who knows how many are going to tune in around the world on Netflix, but what I want is when it's over, everybody turns off the TV or walks out of the arena and goes, I'm so glad I came to this fight.
That was a war.
I mean, I could sit here for an hour and break down the fight, both ways for both guys. But what I truly believe is because Crawford's moving up in weight and this legacy thing is so important to him, he's going to come at Canelo. And you know how Canelo is a counterpuncher and hits hard, and I think it's going to be a war.
Boxing analyst Showbiz The Adult revisited the sparring footage of Canelo Alvarez trading rounds with rising welterweight sensation Jaron "Boots" Ennis that surfaced before the bout. Though only brief clips became public, they've gained fresh importance after Canelo's performance under the spotlight. Those sparring rounds were more than routine work. They became a testing ground where Canelo measured himself against one of boxing's fiercest young threats. Even in short glimpses, the sharpness and intensity he displayed in training were clear. Ennis, recognized as a dangerous up-and-comer, offered the kind of resistance that polished Canelo's preparation. After the fight ended, fans and pundits
now legendary sparring session with Boots Ennis and Canelo Alvarez. All right, in looking at the footage we have, they show their feet. They don't really show much, and that's good, right? Whatever happens in sparring stays in sparring. You don't want too much revealed, but I think you can pull something from the footage. Like post sparring session, you can just see how friendly Canelo Alvarez and Boots Ennis are.
Yeah, appreciate you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Great work. Almost there. Yeah, almost there, almost time. Yeah.
It's mutual respect. You can just see, and it just feels like Boots gave Canelo some good work. I think if Boots didn't, I think Canelo wouldn't respect him as much. I think Canelo would be like, get out of here. I mean, they couldn't even leave the gym. They kept saying bye to each other over and over and over again like it was a bromance.
We got my piece. Who say he needs some rounds? Huh? Who? Yeah, see, he'll come back and some work. Oh, yeah? You don't want... I'll see you tomorrow. And more, if they're scared, they run faster. If they are scared, more faster.
Bruh, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's like if somebody whipped your ass and like, all right, then, boy, what? What, wait.
Former super middleweight title holder Caleb Plant, who once shared the ring with Canelo, praised Terence Crawford in the lead-up. Plant described Crawford as exceptionally strong and surprisingly powerful, and the fight validated his words. Crawford's shots carried genuine force even in the higher weight class, preventing Canelo from simply walking him down. Observers noted that his unusual combination of accuracy and strength forced one of the toughest champions of this generation to give him respect.
Tell you what I think is best for each fighter, and I think, you know, if I was able to give my advice to Terence, it would be, I think that he should box on the outside, or I think he should be all the way inside.
Wait, all the way inside? That would sound like, no, you don't want to be on the inside because, like, Canelo could land body shots.
Yeah, but Terence is a great inside fighter. He's ridiculously strong, and I think the most dangerous place for Terence to be would be in the mid-range, chilling this far from Canelo, at this distance, where Canelo is able to get a lot of leverage and be really explosive, as opposed to what I did to Trevor McCumbee, where I stepped all the way to the inside. And, you know, do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat, or do you want to be this far away from a baseball bat?
This, here.
Exactly.
They can't extend.
They can't gain the same momentum. And just fighting on the outside, sticking, moving, running around, moving around, using his legs for 12 rounds could be a lot. Where, as opposed to him being smart on the outside and moving, and then picking his times and getting all the way to the inside and going to work, and then going all the way back out, all the way back in, all the way back out. But I think chilling at the mid-range with Canelo could be dangerous.
Seasoned veteran Gabriel Rosado cautioned before the fight that Crawford would need to tread carefully against Canelo. Considering the Mexican star's long record of defeating larger men, Rosado's warning proved accurate. Canelo's comfort against naturally bigger opponents was on full display as he absorbed hard punches with poise and answered with crushing counters. For Crawford, the task became finding a way to impose himself while navigating that deep reservoir of experience. Rosado's
years, he's adapted to the weight. It's his natural weight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Crawford gotta be real careful in the middle rounds.
And I've heard you say this before. Look, it doesn't matter if you're sparring with heavyweights in sparring.
Yeah.
If you're sparring with 68-pounders, 75-pounders in sparring. When you get clocked with them 10 ounces with no headgear on, it's a different game, a different story. Drop down on that for us for a second. What is so different about it? Is it just a jolt? Is it a shock? What's the difference?
It's different just because it's just the pop. You know what I'm saying? You know when you're sparring heavier guys, it really, it means something, but it's 16-ounce gloves and it's a headgear. So it's not the same effect. But, you know what I'm saying? And Crawford and Canelo being the same size right now and the same height, people go, oh, well, it's even.
That concludes today's breakdown. Keep following for more coverage. We'll catch you in the